We are now streaming. Do not read out your credit card numbers.
Uh,
I know you were so tempted.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
My password is password 1.
You see, that one is
Yes,
only because they made you.
It's always sword.
It's always swordfish.
Yeah. So, hi, the internet listening to recordings of us, or maybe watching us. Who knows? We're back for a 5th session, meaning we broke a month. We did it. We overcame 1 month.
Woo!
Oh, I have it sitting on the be back soon thing. Goodbye, Cartoon Reen. Hello, Fantasy Grounds background. Now with more art. Hooray! Yeah, so we are returning with a die that almost hit Penelope in the head. Watch out. Yeah, so we're back for more of Fate Dreams End, our 5th edition D&D type moon type game, where we are following essentially an adventure in 2005 set a year after Fate's Day Night timeline, where none of the things in actual Fate's Day Night happened, but it's same world, urban fantasy, all that fun stuff. We are following Anise, the half-elf druid, and Penelope, the halfling bard, as they adventure across Germany with their new friend Kwaku, who is a descendant from Japanese spider yokai, as they kind of got wrapped up in some stuff when they really just got on a train minding their own business. Some stuff happened. You can go back to episodes 1 and 2 to see that. Now they're finding their way essentially toward the Einzbern castle in Germany so that Anise can deliver a potion to what we now believe is a homunculi who needs it to live. Penelope is along for the ride because Penelope was bored, and this was safer than staying on the train with the bad people. So, in the last few sessions, after arriving at the White Witch Saloon, which is run by Gunther, the most German cowboy, or the most cowboy German, depending on how you want to look at it, character we could find. He's apparently friends with the White Witch, or at least the Einzberns, as we assume, and is concerned about them, so he's helping you out. You also met with the necromancer known as the Bone Settler, or Crosby, as you're friends with him now. His job in the area is to deal with issues of ghost sightings, hauntings, and stuff like that, which turned out to be legit because during your night of resting there, within minutes of sitting down, a ghost showed up and scared you a little bit while ultimately directing you to finding some robes under your bed in the room that is traditionally saved for the Einzberns and their guests. So those are Einzbern robes, similar to the ones that you see in the anime. And with that, you set out in the morning. Wearing the robes allowed you to more easily overcome the first security measure of the Einzberns, which is a bounded field that sort of disorients and misdirects people into walking back out of the woods as soon as they walk in. Neither of you had a problem with that. Kwaku overcame it with a very lucky wisdom save. Like, he got it by literally 1 point, and he rolled well, so good for him. Good job, friend. And you also, upon getting in the forest, observed that, yes, it was snowing a lot. In fact, there was a statue that looked like a wizard wearing a robe and holding a staff that was covered in a blizzard snow effect. As you got closer to it, a bunch of little ice monsters attacked you. Using the power of wraps, a giant silk golem punching the crap out of them, and everyone in the fight getting at least one hit in as well. They were subdued, and Anise managed to get rid of the rune tampering on the statue so that it went back to normal, which is just making some snow. Like some unseasonable weather, but nothing so extreme as what we saw before, which is fun. You also discovered nearby a statue that was invisible. You noticed it by the snow not falling in that location. And when you touched it, you could now see that the entire area was covered under a second layer of this bounded field, which apparently this was the thing that was causing that effect before. So the one that made it hard to actually stay in the area. So you've encountered the natural barrier, which was a bunch of snow, and you encountered a psychological barrier, which was the statue that had, it was a guy holding two knives, which is pretty neat. The snow barrier one, each one had words on them, essentially, and there were words that like they kind of described what they did. Like the one with the knives had presence concealment written on it, and the other one had territory creation. So those are neat. And finally, after all of that, as you were heading forward, Anise decided to ask a local bird for directions, which you can do as a druid, and the bird was pretty happy to talk. It stood out as strange to you because you've never seen a bird that looks like it before, but it seemed pretty happy to show you the way to the castle in exchange for some food. In your conversation, it mentioned a few things ahead, like how there was a giant tree in the castle, which when you took a look up there at the castle, which is a lot easier to see now, yeah, there's a big red tree sticking out of it with branches growing into the walls, into the windows, all over the place. On top of that, you notice that a lot of the trees ahead of you, as you get closer to it, were a bit more burgundy or red or brown in hue, whereas everything you'd encountered so far was evergreen. So that's a little bit odd. The bird also mentioned that there were a lot of things ahead, that there were wolves, that there was at least one big snake, and that there was a big angry man out there somewhere to look out for. That was signified to be bigger than our buddy Raps, which means he's probably pretty big. The bird agreed to show you the way there, and so that was where we left off last time. I think I covered everything, but if I'm forgetting anything, by all means, remind me.
Sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hooray. In that case, I think we can start doing a new map, because we are still outside. Now we're going to see if I set up the visuals on this correctly or not. It's part of the fun. Might take a second to load. There you go.
Suddenly map.
Very
Bam.
big.
Trees.
Huge.
It is a big map.
I'm gonna shrink this down a smidge.
Yep.
Ooh.
I will add all of you to that map so you can go looking around.
There's a lot of snow in these woods.
That's true.
Therefore, they are snowy woods.
Wow.
I'm so smart.
I mean, checks out. All right, I'm going to unlock it because I've learned that I have to do that now.
We're learning.
That's part of the adventure. All right, you should be able to walk around now.
Cool.
Let's test.
I have like a box around me.
Me too.
I just stepped on Raps's face.
Oh, no.
Somehow.
Probably like on his foot.
Be like,
You do have a box around you. Is that... Oh, it's signifying that you're allies, because I dragged you off the combat tracker this time.
oh.
That way it kept all of the stuff from the last fight, since some of you actually got hurt a little bit.
Womp.
But yeah, so here you are. You're in the woods. Cool.
I've noticed a problem. I can move my character with the arrows, but now I can't move the map with the arrows.
You should see a little gold thing in the bottom right corner of the map.
Mm-hmm.
If you click and drag that in a direction, kind of like a joystick, it'll move the screen for you.
Oh, but I hate that.
That's understandable.
Wah.
Once you do that, you can then move with the arrows and...
No? Well, hang on.
Or at least I thought so. I don't know. My controls are a little different than yours.
I can no longer move with the arrows.
You're cursed.
There's a statue up ahead.
It's true.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna move these guys up with you.
Okay. Oh shit! Where's my character sheet? Oh, there it is.
Mer.
I'm gonna go inspect this statue.
I'm
Okay.
gonna perceive.
Oh wait, where's your bird? I need to add your bird to the screen too, because it's still here.
Oh yeah, friend.
And get your bird.
I rolled a 16 on general perception.
To inspect the statue, is that
A thing that's in front of you would be investigation.
investigation?
But first, I'm gonna add your bird. Caw. And all right. So you see a statue. It looks kind of like a traditional image of a knight holding up a sword. And one thing that you notice approaching it, before you even touch it, just so that I can clue you in on that, is that the area behind that statue is more red than the area in front of it. Like, that's not just a weird map effect. That's actually visual.
Oh.
This kind of aligns more with that stuff that you were seeing further away.
I thought it was the red trees, but
I know it is. I'm just telling you, like, it's more red over there. Like, this is where the red trees start, like, right here.
Ah.
Like, it wasn't as gradual a gradient as you might have expected in real nature. It seems like everything behind the statue is red. Or at least more red than the stuff before it.
Suppose I didn't see any runes or anything with my 12.
I will go down the order of the rolls and tell you what each of you see, because one of you is doing perception and one's doing investigation. So, so for the perception roll from Penelope, you notice obviously that all of the trees, roughly past a certain point, are more red looking. Like, the actual coloration is a little bit odd. In fact, now that you're kind of seeing it a little better, even though you're not very close to it, it's not so much that it's red as it's a little bit more reflective of the morning sun, because it's still kind of early in the day. So it's almost like when you're looking at those, at Christmas when people will get like the little crystal trees. It's more like that. It's almost like the trees are more transparent and they just happen to be reflecting a lot more of the light. So they look more red right now, but it's not that they're red. They're just reflecting, the atmosphere better. Which is weird. That's not normal.
No.
You also notice that just ahead of the stuff, like some of the trees are like shaking a little bit, like there might be some animals in them. So,
Oh boy.
Tree stuff.
It's just tree things.
As they do. Yep. Okay, so mine is alternating between I can move my character with the keyboard and I can move the screen with the keyboard, and I don't know what causes that. Maybe it depends on what you have selected at the moment.
Yeah, I'm able to move mine with my keyboard, which I have not been able to do this entire time up until today. So...
Now my keys just aren't doing anything.
Oh, it must be a targeting thing. That's weird. Like maybe while you have something targeted.
I can move that.
Yeah. Oh, and actually there's one more thing that Penelope noticed, which I think you can see on the screen a little bit.
Interesting.
You notice that as soon as you approach the little statue, it's not snowing anymore at all.
Oh,
The snow just stops.
right.
Like, there's actually a line, like, as you step a little bit closer to the statue, like, the snow completely stops falling on you. And there's no snow on the ground immediately next to it either. So that's a bit weird. And now that you're both next to it, I can also tell you that something just feels a little bit off. Like you're not having any trouble with it, but the air feels a little bit thinner. Almost like you're at a higher altitude or something. Like there's just less in it, and it's hard to tell. But like again, you're not having trouble breathing. It stands out to you as kind of weird. Just the world in general feels a little more muted. So that's odd. Given that, yeah, so you found a statue, and the statue does have some stuff on it. There's no weird rune graffiti on this one, but similar to the other ones that you found before, it does have some more traditional Magecraft imagery on it, including written in German. You see the words magic resistance etched into it. And you are welcome to roll Arcana if you want to figure out what that might mean.
Heck yeah. Wait, I can't read that. And I also rolled shitty.
It's all good. Yeah, so Anise knows what magic resistance is, at least in the abstract sense. So generally speaking, when you're referring to magic, most of the time in like the world that we're in, they refer to magecraft, like the modern concept of how, you know, we approximate miracles of the past. But magic is way, way bigger and more powerful than that, and that's something that we haven't really seen since the Age of Gods, with 5 exceptions, about 2 of which are really documented in any meaningful way. But magic resistance is a concept that is associated with stuff from back in the Age of Gods. It was the idea that there were some things that magic doesn't have sufficient mystery to overcome, like essentially bigger magic. Like that's why it was really hard to use magic against the gods, and why like the fall of the Age of Gods is associated with the decline in magic, because they lost a lot of strength in that too. And there's more weird history to it, but that's kind of the Cliff Notes version that you got while you were learning much more important druidic stuff, like how to turn into a dog. So you pick up the pieces here and there. But yeah, so given that, if this is any indication, like with the other 2 statues, then this is somehow related to its function.
The bird is moving.
Yeah, it just is flying over to be closer.
Actually, I think maybe my speak with animals might have worn off.
We'll say that you've got a little bit left if you want to ask it a question. Like, the forest is big, but realistically in cinematic timing, it's close enough.
I mean, I already asked if the bird's been to the castle, so it would have gone through this area with these weird crystal trees, I think.
Does it feel weird?
I mean,
like, it just feels weird.
A bit. For one, it's just suddenly not snowing here, but it's snowing back there. That's not normal. And these trees are kind of see-through.
I mean, they kind of look cool. I'm digging it, but also that is also weird.
That is a little weird. Bird
Yes, yes.
Question for you.
Good call.
Have you spent a lot of time in this area with the glass-looking trees before?
Yes, yes. That's new though.
How new?
Very new since the bad people.
Tell me about these bad people, if you don't mind.
They're bad.
What kinds of bad things do they do?
Made the tree.
Ah. And anything else other than making these trees?
Broke some stuff.
Hmm.
Broke the castle. Hurt the
That's
people.
bad. That's pretty bad. What did they look like?
Weird man. Really dark.
Hmm.
Big stick.
Big stick. Oh, you've been most helpful, bird friends, and I'll hand out some more seeds to the bird and relay. I guess I'll call back to Kwaku and relay what the bird told me about the bad man making the glass trees.
Glass trees. Let me see. Because I don't have magical walking powers and have to be dragged. Here we go. Oh, there's a statue. Wow. Okay. Oh, but it's not snowing. Let me get. Oh, whoa. That is weird.
A touch, yes. The bird told me that very recently bad men came and made the trees like this, I think. Broke some things, broke the castle.
That's unfortunate.
I think we've got a little bit more on our plate than we were bargaining for.
That
like
might explain why the ghosts are out of control.
What would I roll to see if I think it's a bad idea to touch the statue? Maybe insight.
Just to see if it's a bad idea. You mean, are you trying to like determine what the consequences of doing that might be?
If I just get I'm trying to see if I get the feeling that touching the statue might cause me harm or anything like that. Is that just straight intelligence, maybe?
It would just be intelligence, yeah.
Or wisdom.
Oh, that's a fair point. It could go either way. Like, intelligence would be your theories about how these things work, and wisdom would just be based on your experience with the other two statues.
I'm gonna roll wisdom.
That's fair.
And not just because I have a higher stat.
That's a lucky number. Yeah, the last two didn't hurt you when you touched them, and in fact, the one of the guy with the knives actually helped you a little bit since you were able to see something. Although it did affect you. Like, it did have some impact. You never actually touched the other one.
Oh, that's true. I'm going to touch the statue and see what happens.
Okay, so when you're touching the statue, nothing really immediately happens except that you can kind of see a little more than you could before, similar to last time. So you can see this.
Whoa!
Oh my god, that's so weird.
It's only in the area around the statue?
You can see that it actually goes a little bit north and south as well. Like, similar to before, you can kind of see a dome.
Oh.
So it's like each time you're finding one of these, there's like a sphere of influence around them. And in this case, it's a bit ripply, but one thing that you do notice is that while you're touching it, the air does feel a little more noticeably thin. Like, again, you're not going to like pass out or anything, but you understand well enough that the world has, mana in it. And, as a druid especially, you know that when you first went from more the wilderness where you grew up into the city of London, you definitely felt the decline in it. Almost like, the world was a little bit less good. And then when you first came out here and you were getting further away from the cities, you were starting to feel a little better. Right here, it's like going directly from where you grew up in, the wilderness with open druids and all of that to when you were standing in the train station in London for the first time and just completely surrounded by the modern world where there was no immediate feeling of magic. So you're feeling a big drop down there. Also, you can feel the the robe that you're wearing getting a little bit less firm. It feels more like the fabric it was probably supposed to be rather than the magically reinforced fabric that you've been enjoying.
I'm gonna take my hand off the statue and step back.
Okay. Your clothes stiffen again. So.
Okay, that statue's doing something weird to mana. It's hard to describe. In the wilderness, there's lots of mana all around in the air, but if you went, say, to like the heart of London or a large city, there's not as much. And that's how it feels with the statue. And it felt like whatever enchantment is on these robes was starting to get thin when I touched it.
Ew.
It's a little weird. I'm not sure what the purpose of this statue actually is.
Maybe it eats mana?
Perhaps. But I don't know why they would have placed a mana-eating statue in the middle of the road here.
I mean...
Maybe magic can't go through it.
I'm going to try something. And I'm going to walk up to this tree and just kind of touch the trunk.
The red one?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you standing on the red side or the not red side?
I'll walk into the red side and touch the trunk.
Okay. When you touch the trunk, first of all, you're a lot closer to the tree now, so you can actually make it out a lot better. The tree looks almost like it's not really a tree so much as a not quite a statue of a tree, but more like a glass working of a tree or a ceramic tree. Like it doesn't feel very alive to you. It feels like it's more of a husk of what it was before. Not that it's dead, just that it doesn't have the, like, essentially the difference between a stick that's like part of a tree versus a dried up stick on the ground. It doesn't feel like it's very malleable. It doesn't feel like it would bend without breaking. It just feels way more fragile.
But I might need to roll for this. It was a tree at some point, right?
Yeah, you can roll nature if you want to like get an idea of what the tree's deal is. I mean, that's enough to tell, like, yeah, it's a tree. Like, you've encountered... It's kind of like the trees that you would find in the woods that, when a tree was struck by lightning or something, where for a little while after that, it would have a lot of, energy to it, but eventually it would just sort of die. Like, this sort of feels like that. Like, if the conditions don't change, it's probably going to die. It's almost like it's been malnourished, even though it doesn't appear to be super dry. Like, it's just not getting what it needs out of the world.
And did I notice anything weird when I stepped into the red side?
You can breathe more easily than you could before when you were next to the statue, but not as well as you could on the other side. Like, the air here is still thin, but not nearly as thin as it was immediately next to the statue.
All right. I'm back on the non-red side.
Okay. What's Penelope doing?
Well, I was gonna have Penelope throw a pebble at the trees, but I didn't act fast enough.
I mean, you still can if you want to.
Sure, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Do I roll?
To attack a tree with a rock?
Yeah.
Dexterity check? I don't think you're proficient with rocks, but I'm not sure.
Not as far as I'm aware, I'm not.
Bam. Okay, well, yeah, you totally hit a tree with a rock. So when you hit the tree with a rock, the tree sort of lurches back in your direction with more recoil than you would have expected.
Mm.
And one of its branches actually swings out to hit you back.
Oh, jeez.
But before you have to roll anything, it stops. Like the instant it goes to the edge of that red. Like
Ooh.
almost like you've got a bubble around you. It can't go through that.
Ooh.
That's not good.
No, yeah, no, I don't feel attack my trees today.
I think my instinct is to destroy this statue because it's clearly doing something, taking the mana out of the trees, possibly the ground and the air. It's concerning that tree just tried to attack you.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it was placed here, and could be a bad thing to get rid of it because it might be a defense the Einzberns put in place, like the first two.
It does seem to be preventing the tree from hurting you.
Yeah, if it's gonna stop the tree from like actually attacking us, I'm okay with that.
Well, did it? Did the limbs stop at the barrier between where the red is?
Yeah, so as soon as the limb reached the barrier, it stopped moving forward.
I wonder if it was the bubble around the statue, or if it was just the... Maybe the statue is here to stop whatever this weird mana thing is, and not the other way around.
Maybe.
It would appear to be containing it, assuming it's moving. I don't see any of it on this side.
Yeah.
Maybe you should ask the bird.
Bird friend, another question. More seeds for you. I'll turn back to the group. How do I word this exactly? I'm not sure exactly what I'm asking. It told me, bird friend, are you a boy bird or a girl bird? I don't want to misgender you.
Boy bird.
All right. And then I turned back to everyone else. He told me that the weird trees, the bad people were responsible for them, and this is recent. Bird friend, the trees that are kind of see-through, where did you first notice them? Further towards the castle or closer to here?
Much more closer to there.
Closer to the
These are the end. No more this way.
No more this way. More seeds for you. Even a couple of nuts. So it seems like the red tree mana disease started from the castle. So I think the statue is actually containing it.
Yeah, then we probably shouldn't mess with the statue then.
Going to be difficult to traverse through here, though.
How so?
Well, we may not be able to cast spells quite as efficiently.
Ooh.
And it may suck out our life force.
Oh.
And the trees may attack us.
Also bad.
This, and I'll point to the tree I touched, that tree didn't get aggressive with me, so I think if we don't attack the trees, they won't attack us. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't have speak with plants.
Okay, weird question. Because you said that this thing that we're wearing, the robes or whatever, you said that kind of felt like it lost its touch the statue.
It felt like the enchantment got weaker.
Did it feel like that when you went in that area, or
would I have noticed that?
It seemed to be back to normal once you were more than a few feet away from the statue, even inside the bubble. It's like the most potent part of that is specifically next to the statue.
Okay, my theory then is that the statue is canceling some sort of magical effect that is doing things to the trees because the enchantment felt weaker when I touched the statue, but it didn't feel weaker when I was outside of the bubble, like touching the tree in the area where the trees become red.
Hmm.
Is the grass and stuff also that glassiness, or is it just the trees?
It's just the trees. Like it's more just quiet. Like there's no snow, there's no wind. It's almost like it's been like the entire region feels like it's been sanitized. Like there just isn't much. Like the only movement you've seen over there at all was that little rustle in the trees earlier, which you haven't even seen much of there. Like it's almost like you're looking at a still picture rather than a real landscape.
All right. Guess I'm gonna try something else. I'll walk outside the bubble, get about this far, and cast some cantrip. I'll cast Produce Flame. What happens?
Are you producing flame like just in your hand or?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you can cast it. It's nothing is stopping you from using magic.
And you said it's just a little bit, like a little harder to breathe. Like there's just less mana.
It's very slight. It's like you're just getting a little bit less out of what's around you. Maybe an easier analogy would be like when you drink distilled water versus other water. Like there's just less in it.
Well, it seems fine. I can cast magic. It's only a little bit. It's just that there's a little bit less mana in the air, but I suppose we can't do anything about that. We have to come through here to get to the castle.
No, we might as well just go on ahead.
Yeah, seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we stepped into the red zone.
Don't let Raps touch that statue. I think he might unravel.
Yes, try to keep your distance, friend. Yeah, like in fact, taking the long way around there just as a precaution. All right, let's see if I can control him walking.
Protect Raps.
Brr, brr. He does slow down as he gets closer to it, but he doesn't stop.
Ooh.
And then once he gets away from it, he can speed up again. Oof.
Yay, you did it! For a second, I thought that was Raps making that noise.
Oh, the bird will lead the way.
Thanks, bird.
And yeah, as you continue forward, as noted before, the world is just still. But now that you're on this side of it, it is a lot easier to see that that redness in a lot of things. It's almost like looking at a sepia photograph or something that's just a little dimmer than it needs to be.
Unsettling.
I
want to go get like a leaf off of one of these trees, but I fear it would attack me.
I mean, there are some on the ground if you just want to pick one up.
Oh yeah, I for sure do.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the one that you pick up and you're holding, it feels really fragile, but you can actually hold it up to the light and see through it a little bit.
I'll carefully tuck it away inside of a notebook.
Okay. All right, so as you're going forward, this part's not going to be on the map. I'm just going to describe it.
The edge of the world, oh no.
Don't jump, don't do it. You don't see any other animals. Like, at all. You're not seeing any animals as you go through the woods. You're kind of holding your distance from the trees, but because you're not bumping into them, they're not really moving. There's no breeze at all. And one other thing that you do notice is that as you go forward, you can see, it's a bit distant, but you can actually see the tops of the castle a little easier now. And there is a red tree sticking out of it. And unlike all of this stuff, the red tree, it looks red. Like, it's actually red. It's not just reflecty red. Like, it's more real than everything around it.
And it's huge.
And it's very big, yeah. Like, you can see it sticking out from the castle. Like, it's, the bird described it as bigger than the castle, but I think it might have misunderstood because it's taller than the castle, but it's growing inside the castle. Like, the castle is its giant potted plant or something.
Hypothesis time. Think that tree sucked all of the mana out of all of these trees to get that big. Could be wrong. The big tree.
Oh, the big tree. Maybe.
Okay. At this point, everyone can roll Arcana.
Arcana check.
And
Oh no.
Penelope can also roll History.
Okay. But good, because
Woo!
the Arcana check was correct.
And that was almost an 8.
And
But
so check. No, but no shit.
Okay, so you got to 11 or 12, depending on which one of those we go with for Penelope.
We're gonna go with Arcana.
Okay.
That one was 1 point better.
That's fine. So just in your bardic travels, you've definitely heard stories of, areas getting diminished like that before. Like, history's full of them. It's usually attributed to droughts, but also just knowing bard stories. Like, there are a few things that sort of come to mind. Much more common from the time periods of, pre-industrialization, when droughts were dooming, but it's a thing that's happened. And the Arcana twist on that is that, the mage theory is that a lot of the time when nature goes wrong for a sufficiently long period of time, it's because someone did something to disrupt the ley lines or otherwise hurt the mana. So that's definitely a concern. Anise, with your 20, you've started to put together a theory on what this might be. You, as a druid especially, would have heard of this thing called Einzbern, which is it's not a super well understood thing, but essentially it was this guy who was a really dangerous dead apostle, like a super vampire, and at some point he died, and when he was killed, his dead apostle blood seeped into the ground and was consumed by a tree. And that tree became a new dead apostle ancestor and would essentially travel along ley lines as a giant living forest. And everywhere it went, it would drain everything dry and then disappear. Super, super dangerous, but most of the stories about it actually boil down to not what it does, because it only shows up like every 50 years and it was last sighted within the last 50 years, so it's not that. But one of the things that it was known for doing is collecting all the mana from an area and then growing a fruit that was super prized in the arcane communities because it was so potent. Like, there were 1,000,001 urban legends about what you could do with the fruit of this thing. But also it being known that the fruit itself had seeds in it, and wherever the seeds were planted, something called a child of Anise would spawn, which is like a much more localized forest that is dangerous like the parent one, but dies out pretty quick because usually it consumes everything and starves. It can't move. And that kind of feels like this to you. Like, maybe the bad man that the bird was talking about dropped a seed on the ground on his way out to blight the land. druids are not cool with this for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm. I will relay that to the group as we're walking.
Oh, gross.
Yes,
That's not good.
it's not. Definitely not. If I could get word to my tribe, they would probably arrive in a heartbeat to try and combat this.
Oh.
That would mean that the statue is preventing it from spreading.
That would. I'm glad we didn't destroy the statue.
It's true, but also, like, if it does feed this area dry until it dies, it's going to ruin this place.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
And I'm concerned about any Einzberns that were living in the castle. They probably are not there now, including my patron.
Yes, that would be problematic. As homunculi, they especially need mana to live.
Mm-hmm.
They don't eat. It's kind of the only source of sustenance they require. This doesn't bode well for them.
Judging by the size of that tree, but I suppose it can't hurt to try.
It's worth checking into. I think as long as we don't hurt the trees, they're not going to hurt us, based on the so far. So maybe we can get there and do something about this.
I agree.
So I definitely should not have thrown that rock.
But it's a good thing that you did, because we were able to figure out, it showed us that the trees are hostile if they're attacked.
You probably threw it from the best place you could have thrown it.
Yes.
Also true.
Also, it seemed to forget you as soon as you stepped out. I presume tree memories are bad.
Is it true, though? That's...
I don't really have brain cells to store memories, so...
Well, I guess we'll just continue towards the castle.
Yes,
Onward.
that seems like to be the only thing that we can do.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah, basically you toggle your character token. I don't, hang on.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah, you see.
Whoa. I'm in the tree.
Wow.
Maybe don't do that.
Did that coffee from breakfast suddenly kick in? And there she goes. Whoa.
Whoosh.
How does she do it? So much energy.
She's gonna crash. Be like...
I'm glad she has so much energy as we're about to move to a different map.
Yay!
All right, let's see if I can drag everyone from one map to the other without having to pull you off of the tracker again. I haven't tried this before.
They just get to the steps of the castle. She just passes out on the steps.
The worst. Passed out.
I need a nap.
No. Wake up.
All right, let's just drag some. Okay, let's me drag them individually over. I'm sure there's a smarter way to do this, but this is what I'm doing right now.
Hey.
Fly.
Yeah, I've seen it all day. It's driving me nuts.
All right, so I'm going to take this map back from you so it spares you that. Away with you, secondary map. You've served your purpose. We have discovered trees exist. Now we have a new map. There you go. Everybody okay over there?
Hold on. Currently running from water?
Water is scary. Too much of it'll kill you. Not enough of it'll kill you.
This is called the Snowy Gorge. That implies a gorge.
It does.
Places aren't named right. You never know. One more quick little thing.
Sure. Map transitions are the time to do it. That's when the game is loading the next level.
Well, while she's doing that, can I roll another perception check?
Sure. What are you looking for?
The general checking things
Just
out.
paying attention to the world around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
That's a good one.
It's decent. Take it. I would like to perception roll, please.
You would like to what?
Just like next time I get a bad one, I'll just be like, I'd like to return to the perception roll. Can I do a better one? Oh wait, I can do that. No, wait. That's ability. Wait, which check is that for? Halflings, why? What
Oh,
is
the
that?
lucky one?
Is it on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw? Okay, yeah, then if I ever roll one, I can just be like, halfling luck. Woo!
Halflings are fun like that.
I would like to return crappy roll for one that's slightly better, hopefully.
Here's my receipt.
Here's my receipt. Please.
Excellent. I mean, it's only a 1 in 20, but you know what? It's the one you want to trade in.
All right, and she's back.
Yay!
All right, so you're on a new map, and you just perceived.
I perceive it did.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I can also perceive. I have eyes.
Do you? Do you really?
To the best of my knowledge.
You use them to see.
First, I need to make this a little color so I can see other things. Like my character sheet.
Okay, I'm going to have to change that thing to not using black text for next time, because seeing which skill you're using is actually better.
16.
All right, so you can both see pretty well right now. So yeah, as you go on, just for map orientation, you're going in the same direction. This one is just shaped more for going up, and I didn't want to rotate the entire map and make something impossibly long. So
I think you need to unlock our tokens.
oh, yep, new map, new fun. There you go. So yeah, you can observe just walking along. First of all, like as before, no wind, no snow, none of that. It's really, really still. In fact, because you both rolled well on perception, I'm just going to expand how much you can see now rather than making you walk for it. So that's always cool.
Gonna do a little dance. We crash into each other.
How could this have happened?
Oh, crap.
All right. Let's reveal. Tell me your secrets. Oh, neat. That works. Learning new shortcuts.
Hey.
All right.
Doing like a dramatic zoom in on the tokens.
Let's get some of that. Bam. Let's see a lot more. Yeah, you can actually see the that up ahead. There is a bit of a drop down. The path kind of continues going down into a bit more of a valley, a gorge. Like it's a lower area. It's not so far down that like if you were to fall, you would necessarily die, but you don't want to do it. It's probably like a 15 or 20 foot drop. Like you would have a hard time crawling back up. But down there, in fact, you both rolled over a 15. I'm just going to give you more of this map. I think perception is a perfectly fair way to reveal more of the map than you were getting before. Let's remember which button does what. Just give you about that much. Yeah, about that much. There we go.
From here.
Yeah, there's a lot down there. But up ahead, you can actually kind of make out the glint of something at the far end of down there. Like, you can't see it from here. You'll have to get closer to make out what it is, but it looks like there's a giant mound of snow at the other end of that downed tree. Like, really, really big mound of snow, which is weird because around the rest of this place, there isn't that much snow. Like, without the supernatural stuff on the outside getting in, it's just like more what you would maybe expect for snow in the middle of March.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot less, but up there, there's just this huge pile of it.
This place is really weird. I'm just putting this out there.
Yes.
This place is weird as hell.
I agree.
Like, I don't know what these Einzberns were up to, but it's weird.
The head is a bridge, or like a natural bridge going across the gorge, or is it just...
You can't really see the other end of it from this far back. Like, you could just see down it. You might have to get closer to take a look at that. Like, the bird is continuing to take you in this direction, at least. So
The bird doesn't need to worry about crossing a gorge.
that is a limitation of relying on a bird for directions. Yeah.
It's fine to be able to make it across. What are you talking about?
Okay, so over here you're a bit closer now. Yeah, you can. We'll go off of the previous perception rolls to illustrate a little bit more of what's going on. So down in the gorge, that big pile that I mentioned before, it looks like that.
Oh, I see. That's a cliff face I'm looking at.
Oh, at the far end? Yeah, that's a little bit of a cliff face.
Oh, Jesus. Should not have zoomed in on that.
Your perception is enough that you can zoom in on it. You can see a little more what's going on.
I don't like that, but Anise can't see it yet.
Like, Lauren personally is horrified.
So, okay. So, like, right in front of where we are, is that like a slope that kind of drops down?
Yeah, it's a pretty gradual slope. Like, you could walk down it without having to make checks or anything.
Gonna approach.
Yeah, it's Penelope will follow. Hello, I just stood on you.
It's actually kind of funny watching Raps walk down it, because Raps sort of Spider-Man's like it's nothing. Like, having built-in spider climb is really helpful for circumstances like this.
The downed tree crosses the gorge and goes to the big snowball.
Yeah. Well, it's like that part isn't really as much of a gorge as it is a small dip. That it looks to you as someone who's grew up in the forest, like there was maybe once a river running through there, not a big one, but a shallow creek that's just sort of dried up for now. So if the water were here, the tree might be more convenient for walking across, but you could just walk across it yourself.
Okay. I guess it's another perception to look at the big snowball.
What the hell is that?
Or not.
I don't know.
No, you're close enough now that you can see it. Like, you can tell that it's not quite a snowball.
I don't like that.
What the actual hell?
That's troubling. It's people, right?
I think those are homunculi. That's what they look like. They look like the ghosts that you saw.
Yeah, they do look like that. Well, they're not making any noise. Are they moving?
Are they like, they look pretty still, but if you like, you can roll an investigation if you want to get up and like actually inspect them, or you can stick with perception and hold your distance. Investigation will obviously get you more information, but if there is something, then it's riskier.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
But since you're closer, I'll give you a little more range on it. So there's a rock wall behind it. Oddly enough, as morbid as it is, you could climb up them and get out of the gorge.
Okay. Just like with the statue before, I guess I just roll wisdom or intelligence to see if touching them seems like a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'll roll wisdom.
Okay. they're not moving. It's kind of strange because you're looking at them here and they look like bodies. They all look like, oddly enough, they all look like the same woman over and over and over again. And they're all still and stationary, but like none of them are bleeding or damaged in any meaningful way that you can tell. Like they just stopped and then were tossed into a giant pile from the ledge above.
Do they all have that same creepy ass grin on their faces?
Some of them do. Others have other expressions on their faces. But okay, so you rolled your investigation?
Yep.
Okay. So with your investigation, you actually see something sticking out that doesn't look like the rest of them. So that's cool. What you see is this thing. It is a man with a funny hat who looks like he's holding part of a stick. Like, it looks kind of like a spear, but it's broken off at the right arm. Like a piece has been removed.
Do I see any runes from here?
You don't see any like sabotage runes on it, like the first ones, but you do see the words on it for they translate to battle continuation.
That's an odd thing. Battle continuation.
What?
What does it have to do with all of these homunculi?
Oh, there's some else with the words are hard.
Well, it's either that or someone had a lot of children that they didn't like. Much more likely to be homunculi.
They look like every homunculi I have met from the Einzberns. They all look the same.
Unsettling.
A bit. I don't really know why. They just seem to all look like twins. It might explain why the locals think there's a white witch. They could have seen any number of them at times.
That is true. Well, I don't know what to do about all of this. I don't want to climb up them to get out.
Maybe we should look for, I don't know, maybe if there's a way around them?
Well, if you want to look around, you can both roll perception and see what the world tells you.
Well, he's gonna walk over this way and do a perception check.
I'm gonna, against my better judgment, I'm gonna reach out and just touch one of them on like a hand or an arm or something.
All right.
Can I return that?
That's your thing, right? You're allowed to do that for skill checks, right?
So,
Let's make sure that's how that works. I'm pretty sure it is.
attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. That was an ability check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's an ability check, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's adding your ability score to it, so yeah.
Okay, well, let's re-roll that, because...
It's nice to not have to worry about rolling a 1 on perception ever. It's how halflings survive, I guess. Hey, that one has 2 1s on it.
It's 1, but dude.
It's a lot better. All right. Okay, so you said you were reaching out and touching one?
I'm gonna grab one by the wrist and check for like a pulse or something.
Okay. The first thing you observe is that it's cold. This one's been here for a while. I mean, obviously there's snow on the ground, so it wouldn't take long to be cold, but it's definitely cold. There's nothing resembling a pulse that you can tell. Meanwhile, Penelope got an 11 on perception.
Mm-hmm.
So with your 11, you notice like the giant pile of homunculi. When Anise touched it, at the far end of it, something moved.
Ooh.
Like just a little shake.
Like closer to my end or closer to the other end?
Closer to the other end, over like at the northwest end.
Some just moved over there.
Just now?
Yeah.
No pulse or anything, right?
Nope, no pulse.
I guess I'll just drop it, and again, against my better judgments, can I go under this tree, or do I have to climb over it?
You could probably crawl under it, but it is lying on the ground, so you'd have an easier time climbing over it. It's not super thick. Like you're a healthy druid, you can climb over a tree.
Is this like a roll I need to make?
No, you could just do it. Like you grew up in the woods.
I
Excuse me.
assume that this tree is not climbable for me.
Gonna get
It's a lot taller for you than it is for her. Yeah, you would have to make an athletics check to climb over it.
Is this investigation or perception to look for the thing that moved?
It would probably be investigation because you're looking for a specific thing in a specific area. Okay, so Penelope like jumps over it, like
Vaults
it's nothing.
over it.
Yeah, she vaults over it and does a little parkour dance.
Thank you. I'll be here hopefully not that long because this is creepy.
That was pretty cool. I'm gonna walk around it.
Hey, that's not as fun.
It's true, but I am not as nimble. Raps, come over here and also do that. And the bird's just gonna land down here on the branch.
Investigate on this side. No, wait. Not investigate. What am I doing? Ignore that investigate.
I mean, it's a pretty good investigate.
Perception. I don't. Whichever one's better. Let's do the investigation.
Fair enough.
That perception was crap. Holy crap.
That's okay. You're both investigating. So if you're investigating, then you're both up there and you're kind of poking around in it to see what was moving.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what you notice is each time you touch it, the mass, like there's a little bit of a shaking in let's see if I can draw it. Oh wait, it's because I'm on the screen. It's confusing having two fantasy grounds open at once. Something about here-ish. Ignore the distance on that. I was just trying to point at that intersection. Each time you touch it, something there shakes a little bit, like something is under the pile.
I don't know that I like that.
What to do? We could try and dig out whatever it is that's shaking.
We could, I guess.
Would you like Raps to do that?
Yes.
Okay, Raps, go dig out the lady pile. See what you can find.
Out of character, that sounds like a euphemism.
Sure does.
I need an adult.
Well, you might find one in this pile somewhere.
No!
I will continue to check for pulses.
Penelope is done touching these things. He's done.
The bird seems curious about all of this. Like, why aren't you just flying up there? It's so easy. Okay,
If we
so
could all have wings, my friend, things would be much easier. And you guys are just hearing like,
Like you keep squawking at the bird and it somehow understands you, and this is really funny to me.
Yeah. Okay. So Azraps is sort of unceremoniously shuffling these bodies out of the way, like just picking them up and setting them to the side, picking them up and setting them to the side. Like the first one he picks up and just throws over his shoulder, and it nearly hits Kwaku, who dodges out of the way. Actually, let's see if Kwaku dodges out of the way. It's more fun that way.
Oh no.
All right, Kwaku, dex save. Let's go. I believe in you.
Move me. I meant to move the map. There we go.
Oh, he does not. No, he catches the corpse to the face. How much damage would a flying Einzbern do? Let's just treat it like a cantrip. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's only the one. It's only 1 damage. That's good. We can live with that.
You okay over there?
This is not what I was expecting when I woke up.
I mean, same.
Who would have?
I don't know, but I don't want to know them. Raps, could you do that without throwing them at us? Starts more slowly moving them out of the way. At this point, you're both close by, so you can take a look. Roll perception one more time at the area that he's digging out, because at this point he's like there and he's gotten pretty close to the movement.
One of these days I'm going to accidentally roll performance.
I mean, live that pseudo bard life. Okay, so I'll go in order, starting with Penelope. So Penelope sees that there's absolutely something moving around under there, and it is like it's still the same like color of whites as all of the homunculi, with the white hair, the white bodies, the white whatever. So whatever it is white. It might be one of them that isn't hurt or isn't buried or whatever. Anise, with a slightly higher score, gets to see what it is.
Oh no.
And it is going to jump out, and we're going to roll initiative.
Oh, look, it's the bone hydra.
You were told there was a snake.
Well,
If we defeat it, we get to move to Elysium.
if we defeat it, we get a diamond, I think. Right?
Oh, good.
There's all kinds of stuff you might be able to get from it, but first you got to fight it.
Well, and you were right. There is a snake.
Gotta love those 80s times. Oh.
It's big.
It is very big.
Oh.
It is a big old snake. Actually, I'm going to do this the proper way. Get out of here, snake token. Get out of here, pointer token. We're going to do this via the combat tracker like we're supposed to. Going to learn discipline is what we're doing.
What? Don't got time for discipline.
Bone snake, get on the combat tracker.
It's like, I don't want to.
It clearly doesn't. It's mad at me for dragging it to the other one first is what it is. It's like, you deleted my token. I'm not coming out. Here we go.
Man, that's great for us. That means we don't have to deal with it.
What's your AC?
Good question. Let me find out. 15.
There it is. Okay, now we're going to start a new round. Initiative. Roll all initiatives. There we go.
Ooh.
And we're going to make it. Anise is up first. Yay.
I don't see the bone snake on the combat tracker.
Yeah.
It's invisible on the combat tracker until it hits you.
Okay.
But let me make it visible because that's stupid. You already know it's here.
I wish I hadn't been first because I was still deciding what to do. Okay.
You still can't see it on the map, right?
I don't.
Yeah, no.
Visible.
Ah.
There we go. All right. Got a giant bone snake that's hiding in this pile of corpses.
Good.
Sure do.
Oh, and you know what? For fun, I'm going to add the bird to the combat tracker.
Oh no, that means it can actually be
Oh,
attacked.
no.
That is always the case that birds could be attacked.
Bird friend.
It's not exactly a threat.
Watch the bird just like carry everybody through the combat.
I'm going to just tell you because Anise is a druid and would know this. Birds have 1 HP.
Yeah, I know.
Ah!
They don't have a middle step.
Protect the bird.
It's like Frumpkin. Okay. I'm going to just turn into. I haven't done wild shape since the train, so.
Yep, you've got them all back. You've slept since then.
Well, I haven't tried it since you fixed it. Hopefully.
Oh, right, yeah. Theoretically, it should actually work now.
Theoretically.
It's about dreams.
What should I turn into?
Bird, you're not an enemy. You're an ally because you fed it. Wow, Bird rolled better than Penelope. And poor Kwaku is it too.
Oh, poor Kwaku.
He is not made for this war. It's almost like he's a support NPC in a world of heroes.
Alright, I hope I'm doing this right. Oh, cool.
Yep, you turned into a thing. It works now.
Yay!
Puppy.
Puppy. And it should give you all of the moves in your drop down now. For when you attack and stuff with it.
But I can't actually attack the bone snake because again, it's still not in initiative.
I'm just gonna make it visible. It's dumb that the tracker does that. Here you go. Now you can target it. It's cute that the thing says that it's healthy. It is a skeleton of a snake.
I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna move up to it and I'm gonna bite it.
Do you have an action?
I guess turning into the wolf was the action.
I think that's how that works.
Biting's not a bonus action and I can't cast anything, so I'm just a wolf.
I mean, that's still cool.
Intimidating.
You can perceive. You have different senses now.
Sure.
If you want to see what's up. I mean, if anything, you're the kind of creature that understands bones.
That's true. No, I don't see anything.
You are colorblind, and it shows.
Oh, no.
All of these things in front of you are shades of white. You remember that from before. This tells you nothing.
That's it. I'm done.
Smells like bones.
I'm a wolf. Bark, bark, bark.
Bork, 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 bork. All right, Raps is up. Raps does not need special instruction when giant bone snake appears. Raps is gonna punch it. Raps does not have a complicated programming, but this one falls pretty squarely in the that is dangerous and is here to hurt us. So let's... Bah! Oh no! He missed!
Raps, please.
Bah! He missed again. This is not good. Okay, well, that was Raps' turn.
Oh, good. The bird's turn.
It's the bird's turn. It's true. The bird is like, Kana. It's gonna fly down here. It's gonna come over here where it's safe.
Bye. Oh, no.
That is not how the bird plays.
Oh.
And Penelope's turn.
Oh, God.
Oh, technically, in the interest of making the rules work better, Raps is right here so that you're not overlapping squares.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, like...
And I will move it over so that it's not in your square, too.
Trying to see if I really have anything that could work. Ugh.
You mean you didn't build your character to fight giant bone snakes?
No, I did not.
Can I help you?
See. You know what? This is gonna be really dumb, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Penelope is gonna cast Minor Illusion by making it sound like, oh god, she's gonna make it sound like somebody's yelling like, hey, look up, except from like the opposite direction of where they all are.
What are they yelling?
Hey, look over here.
Okay.
From a distance. I don't know.
You can do that.
I'm gonna do it. Oh,
Anise, you can hear someone over there yelling, hey. Look over there.
Hold on. I don't know that I'm doing this right. Hold on. Oh, I guess I can't really target anybody with Minor Illusion.
Yeah, you just make a thing.
Fudge. Okay, then yeah, that sucked ass. Trying to distract the snake. It's not quite working. She's gonna move over behind Anise, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's the end of my turn. Hold on. Turn complete. I got nothing.
Okay. Cool. It's gonna go next. And it is going to... Wow, its character sheet's complicated. It's gonna try to bite Raps. Rah! Is that accurate? Is your AC that low, Raps? Did I forget how low your AC is? Doesn't seem right.
Ooh.
Nope, it's exactly your AC. Aw, poor guy.
Oh.
Your AC is 9 because you're big guy made out of silk. You're easy to hit. All right. Cha-chomp.
He resisted.
He did resisted.
Oh. Yeah.
Why did he resisted all of it? Raps, what are your resistances? I need to remember. Oh, right. That's really funny. Yeah, so this thing bit Raps, and I'm just going to tell you. It's biting, so it's a piercing attack. And Raps is immune to those because you can't actually stab Silk. That's really funny.
Yay!
I didn't plan any of that out. It just happened to work out. Yeah, like it's trying to bite a giant ball of yarn to death. Well, that's really funny. At any rate, it's now going to go crawling toward that sound it heard. Burr, 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 burr. It's going to go digging around at this end of the pile and see what it can find. And in doing so, going over your traits because you got a lot. Okay, so when it goes that way, I'm going to need Anise to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Because when it slithers by you, those jagged bones on the side of it go lashing out.
Dexterity. There we go.
Okay, so they don't hurt nearly as much as the rest of it does, thankfully. Let's just get that damage roll out. Why aren't you all programmed in? All right, fine. We're just going to do it this way. I don't know if that actually did a thing or not. Did you take any damage?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
I see why. It's because I dragged it to there. Hold on. Okay, well, you took 4 damage. How's that? Serves me right for not knowing now how that works. Okay, so you took 4 wounds from that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It tries to do it to Raps, but Raps is immune to piercing, so I'm not going to bother rolling it. Raps is actually perfect MVP for slowing down a snake fight, and I didn't even know it. Good job, buddy. All right, well, you've also distracted it away. It's now digging around in the pile for whatever that was. Up next. All right, Kwaku, don't hit it with a stick this time. Do better. What you got, buddy? He's gonna actually use a Magix. All right, let's do a thing. Okay, well, that wasn't supposed to be centered on you, but we'll learn. So Kwaku is going to cast a spell, and I'm going to move that effect in a second, but essentially what happens is he starts moving his hands around really quickly in some magical incantations, and then a lot of the light around him starts to refract in a funny way that kind of looks like blades. And they just sort of swirl around and they fly over to where the snake is. So now a whole bunch of blades that weren't there before just popped out and are stabbing into it. And we will see what that do.
I just look over and it's like effects, cloud of daggers.
Yeah.
Literal cloud.
To Kwaku, yeah, because targeting is fun. So, drag that damage. Spells I've never used before. Bah! Take that, snake. Turns out snakes are not immune to knives, even when they're bones. And I'm just going to drop the visual in there. Bah. Now it looks like it has a hat. Let's make you bigger. There you go.
Cool.
Enjoy those daggers, buddy.
It's a fancy dagger hat.
I don't like that. It needs to stop.
It's the knife cat meme.
Yep, and then Kwaku's going to run back over to here and keep an eye out on that. And that is that. All right, up next. New turn. Penelope's first.
Oh, God.
Kwaku, you're so bad at initiative.
He really is. Oh, no. Penelope is gonna... Okay, she's gonna cast Healing Word on Anise. No, I didn't. Let me try that again. Boom. Did I do it right? I can't tell. Wow.
I have not healed by 3.
Yeah, it needs to target.
Oh, okay. I thought I did. Okay. Hold on. Combat tracker. I want to target Anise. I thought I targeted her. Like I dropped the dice on her face.
Like on the token?
Huh?
On the combat tracker, it dropped it on her face and didn't heal her?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably a weird interaction with her currently being a wolf.
Oh, damn it.
I mean, I'll heal the wolf. Like, it's fine. You healed her up. She only took 4. You can heal wolves. I think maybe the special thing that makes that token work just confused it. We can experiment with that later. But you healed her up. She's good.
Ignore that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Eternal healing.
I was seeing what mine would do.
So yeah, she casts Healing Word, and like pets Wolf Anise on the head. Just good puppy. That's her Healing Word. Good puppy.
That's fair.
Anise doesn't know what to say, and also can't speak because she's a wolf.
Also wolf. Oh, we should probably.
She goes, So
I personally don't want to that thing. It will probably destroy me.
Wolf Anise is a medium-sized creature. Do you think that Penelope could ride Wolf Anise?
Penelope's a small creature, so yes, she could.
Yeah.
She absolutely could.
I'm saying, ride me, but I'm really just going like,
Bork, 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 bork.
Penelope is just gonna like motion like she's gonna jump on her back.
Anise kind of like kneels
Okay.
down a little, squats down.
Yeah.
Because wolves are actually very tall. And they're way bigger than you think.
Boom.
It's true.
She's on her back.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm also just gonna like. I'm just for like.
Yeah, you can put it one up. We know where you are. That works.
You know where I am. Not in the pile of bodies. But...
Mounted combat.
Yay! To battle.
Riding ranks. Let's go.
Anise can't say anything, so
Yeah.
kind of turns to look at Kwaku expectantly.
Onward.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
You are an honorary cowboy.
This is the second time this week.
Okay. Raps is going to unceremoniously climb over all these bodies. Because he's a gentleman. And he's going to try something crazy. Hitting that thing again. Because Raps is not capable of advanced combat plotting. So he's just going to keep hitting and hoping. So let's go. Raps, you got to hit him. Oh, it's because the token's in the way. That makes sense. That might work. It's not missing, Raps. This thing is hard to hit to be so big.
Made of bone.
Yeah, he's really not designed for fighting this either. Nope.
He's probably actually hitting, but it's not doing anything because he's made of bone.
Yeah, like the AC for this thing is made largely out of the fact that it's hard to actually do any damage to it when it doesn't have squishy muscle to hit. But he is knocking on it, so that's something. And that's a Rap's turn.
So that's a wrap?
Oh, that's terrible.
Uh.
The bird boos at you, and then we move on. It doesn't understand you. It doesn't understand anyone at this point.
It doesn't understand, but
it doesn't speak wolf. It doesn't know what's going on.
I was about to say, as a wolf, can I still communicate with the bird, or...
Oddly enough, you can, because the effect doesn't get disrupted by you changing. So it would very much confuse it if you as a wolf kept talking to it. It's just going to stay down there. All right, so now Snake is, like, also dumb. But first, it's starting its turn in daggers. Because we finally found a scenario where rerolling initiative every turn is actually beneficial, because it means that you can get 2 hits off of that, since it lasts until the end of a turn. So hey, cool. Neat. Unexpected interactions.
Think of this from the snake's perspective, though. We woke it up, and then suddenly it's just all I can see are daggers.
Yeah.
And there's this big thing trying that it can't bite, just trying to hurt it, and a wolf somehow.
Yep. Bah. That's a really terrible roll. But admittedly, as long as it's stuck in that spot, it's going to keep taking damage. So now it's going to... Like, it's not smart. So it's going to keep attacking Kwaku and failing. So I'm not even going to roll it. Because it's dumb. That's the fun thing about undead. They're stupid. So it bites Kwaku, has no effect.
It bites...
Or not? No, it bites Raps. Sorry, Kwaku's way over there. Kwaku's safe. It bites Raps. Can't do anything. Doesn't know why knives are hitting it. Moving right along. It's Anise's turn. Bork bork.
Oh, woo.
You have a halfling on you.
What?
Obviously, I can't ask, like, are we trying to kill it or trying to get away? Hmm.
It would seem Rap says an opinion.
I'm rolling this d6 to determine something.
Go for it.
Alright, so I'm gonna move, and by consequence, hang on, I have a speed of 40, and I can go diagonals, right?
Yeah. Oh, now I know why it didn't disappear earlier. I deleted the statue token. I'm like, where'd it go? Let me put that back. It doesn't affect what you're doing. It just reminded me, like, wait, where did that go?
Yeah, and of course, by consequence, Penelope is also, assuming you can hold on.
Yeehaw.
And I'm gonna attack this thing with my wolfy jowls.
Borkity bork bork.
I'm gonna bite it.
You bite it.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
I've
move
got-
Raps onto a real square for.
I've got cast, save strength DC 11, and then I've got cast attack melee +4. I'm gonna guess that one's the bite attack.
That would be the bite attack, yeah.
Oh wait, no. I need the combat tracker up so I can actually target.
Bork bork, the first hit is yours. You did it. You found a bone and you bit it.
Bite attack, melee attack +4 to hit, 2d4 +2 damage. Target must make a DC 11 strength save or be knocked prone.
Go for it.
Okay.
How do you knock a snake prone?
Very quickly.
Oh, jeez.
Well played.
And then I think you have to roll the strength save.
I think you can actually drop a strength save on him too to make him do it.
I have effect source prone. Oh, that's cast. Okay. We're learning new things. Yay.
Okay, so it does not fall prone, but
Aw.
it is admittedly a giant snake.
Wait, do I have to roll strength?
No.
Oh, okay.
The snake did. And then I'm gonna. Yeah, it was up here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Gonna move 10 feet this way to just get away from it.
Okay, when you move away from it, it will get a chance to attack you. Not sure if you want to do that or not. Also, I'll just tell you, because you've seen this thing attacking before, it could reach you from there.
Oh, gotcha. Well, in that case, I'll just stay here.
Yeah.
Whee.
It has a long bite.
Like,
Okay, Penelope, roll me a perception check.
Okay, hold on.
Wolf Anise has 13 of passive perception, if that helps at all. It doesn't help you, I'm just putting it out there.
Sure.
Oh, where'd the dice go?
What did you do?
Let me try that again. No, okay, there it is, I guess.
Got a 13 for both of you then, for the passive and for the active.
Hey.
So, Penelope has a better chance of seeing this because she wasn't in the process of biting it, which is admittedly distracting for your eyes. So when Wolf Anise bit into the side of this thing, on back of Wolf Anise, Penelope, who can really just hang on for dear life, saw there was something stuck in the back of the snake's mouth. That was distinctly not a bone.
I'm gonna point this out to Anise. But also, I will be right back because my computer just died.
That's less good.
Hold on.
Said trombone.
You got prices wronged.
Shelly, you're very cute.
Okay. Well, she does that. Kwaku is going to think about what he's done.
Remembering charge cord. And I guess I just forgot this time. Okay.
Yep, Kwaku is going to continue to concentrate on that cloud of daggers because it is doing something.
Hey, daggers.
What else would he like to do?
Yeah, so I mentioned the thingy. Yeah. Please.
All we could see was that it's just not a bone. Like, no, like, color or texture. I mean, probably not me since I was biting.
Yeah, you couldn't see it as well. Like your passive is a little bit harder when you're in the process of doing something. She could do nothing but look for that second. But yeah, it kind of looks it's like it's not the same color as the stone, or rather it's not the same color as the bones, but it looks more similar to a different kind of gray, like maybe the statue or maybe the creepy homunculi ladies. Like there might be an arm back there, might be a rock, who knows. But it's not the same as the bone. Okay.
Having to reload Fantasy Ground. It kicked me out.
Oh no.
It's full of rage. Okay, so now
Oh no.
Kwaku's gonna try to do a thing.
Okay. There we go.
That was cool.
That was a thing. I can't see any of the stuff that previously happened.
I mean, it did what it needed to do. It just wasn't targeting. But whatever, it worked.
There's that.
Cool. So... neat. So Kwaku did one of his cool spider demon things, which he doesn't get to do very often, but you know what? This thing scares him. So on top of all of those gross daggers that are stibbity stabbing,
Ooh.
whoa. Settle down, knives. All right, knives get a little smaller, web get a little bigger. Snake get a little bigger, that's not right. I think this is the game punishing me for not actually using layers like a responsible person. Oons. All right, you know what? Out here. Now the web will get bigger. Now this is just a pile of nonsense. It is now buried under web and daggers are still stabbing it. That is how Kwaku fights.
Like, I'm gonna bury it in webs and stab it.
My goal is to make the golem make it go over there and then make all the other things violence it while I stay back here. And you know what? That's fair. Oh no. It's starting its turn in the daggers for some reason. How could this have happened?
Damn it, why do I keep rolling like really good like initiative?
Because you're so fast.
He doesn't want any of this shit.
You're on a wolf now.
I'm on a wolf.
Yep. Okay, the knives are still stibbity stabbing.
Look at this cat.
Oh, she's so cute.
Okay, the
little...
snake.
Hey. Alright, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a hoe.
The snake is going to try to bite the wolf.
Lick the bite.
Like some weird parody of the Old Spice commercial running through my head now.
I'm on
It's
a wolf.
I'm the
Chomp.
Barbara sound like. I'm on a wolf.
You were chomped.
You got chomped.
I got chomped.
You got chomped.
You did get chomped.
You stop that. You're not allowed to get chomped.
This is probably going to hurt. On account of it's a giant wolf.
Or it's a giant bone
It's a
snake.
giant bone snake biting a wolf.
Like how many dice were thrown.
Okay. Did it apply effects?
Nope.
Didn't do that to you? Weird. I guess I need to still mess around with the rules for how it works for hitting people. All right, I'm just going to do that again. And I think I just need to do that squarely on the combat tracker rather than on the map, since it's replacing your token in the map, and therefore it doesn't know what it's doing. So it's because you're so far down on the map. All right, let's try that again. Did that one hurt you?
Nope.
It's rolling to... why do you do that? Snake, why are you bad? I guess this is admittedly our most complicated combat, so we were bound to run into some of this.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to just drag it this way. I think this will do it. Okay, now it's targeting you properly. I figured it out. Damage. Did it count that time, or is it still no?
Still nothing.
Nope.
Okay, I'm just going to apply the damage to you directly, because that's dumb.
Invincible.
You're an
Wolf is a
unstoppable
wolf.
wolf is what you are. Except you're not a wolf anymore, because you just took a lot of damage. Alright, so... it does enough damage to knock you out a wolf.
I'm at 1 HP. Am I unconscious or just at 1 HP?
Alright, so you took 11 from that, which should knock
Which
you
is-
out of a wolf.
Yeah.
But I think because it wasn't done by the damage, it doesn't know better. Figure that out.
No, that just makes me wild shape again, I guess.
Double wolf.
I have no two wolves.
You are now super wolf, yeah.
You're two wolves inside of you.
You are moon and moon.
No.
Did dragging that not do it either? It's even showing it happening to you in the little chat thing, but it doesn't seem to be doing it. How do we turn you back into normal, Anise? You are truly more wolf than the world can handle. Oh, wait, I can do this the manual way. Why am I trying this hard?
Too furious.
I'm overthinking this way too much. Not you yet. Hold up. I'm just going to drag this thing around so that I can see the rest of Anise's stuff. There we go. Should now no longer be two wolves.
But okay. I have I have a higher max HP as a druid. Interesting.
Well, you're a level 3 druid and you're a level
You have
one
two.
quarter wolf. So
Okay. Oh, it did enough damage that it knocked me out of wolf form and then did 2 damage. Okay. That makes sense. And it just got
yeah.
on my shoulders, I
It's
guess.
Yes, you now have a halfling on your shoulders. Both of you roll athletics, and we'll see if that stays.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Technically, no. Penelope can roll acrobatics. You're balancing.
I'll roll athletics. Oh good, I am actually proficient. A lot of good that did me though. You can return that, can't you? Or can you only do that once a day?
How often can you do that? I think it's in every time, isn't it?
Hold on, I'm gonna look.
That's worth checking. We should know that in general.
I know luck.
It just says when you
Okay.
roll a 1 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Yeah. Lucky is a really good trait. Yeah, go for it. Roll it again.
Yeah.
Would I roll strength instead?
Oh, much better.
So what did you roll before for the athletics?
For athletics, I rolled the 11.
I think that's including your strength bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. I rolled an 8 originally.
Yeah. So yeah, you're fine. You did that right. Well, so yeah, your strength is enough to hold up her body, and she is super balanced, what with her mad bard skills. So if you so decide, she can continue to stand on your shoulders and have, I guess, the high ground against a giant snake.
Well, if you want to stay up there, I guess I can't stop you.
Probably a bad idea.
Alternatively, you could use that acrobatics to, like, jump out of the fray without getting bit by the snake.
Yeah, she's gonna do a sweet backflip and land.
She jumps off of you and onto Raps to get the true high ground.
High ground.
But regardless, it is your turn. The snake has done its bite.
In that case, I'm gonna. Oh god. Yeah, she's just gonna move up. No. If I do my movement first, does that end my turn?
No.
No.
You can move and act and move some more if you have more movement.
Okay. She's gonna move up, like, somewhere in this area. Boom! There. Close enough.
You were small enough to occupy space with people, so go for it.
Yeah. So she is going. Oh my god, character sheet, please. She's gonna stab it with her little sword.
Doink.
Doink.
And how?
Damn. Okay.
Just keep hitting those 19s. It'll work out.
Yeah.
That is a lot of damage. All right, Penelope of War versus giant snake thing. Little did it realize it was taking on the serpent killer. Take that, Danger Noodle.
Danger Noodle.
Okay. Would you like to end your turn right there?
Map, please. You know what? She's gonna start trying to go up the hill of homunculi. Is that a thing she can try and do?
Yeah, although it will get a chance to chomp at you.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, she's just gonna stay where she is then, I guess.
Actually, no, I take it back. It won't be able to chomp at you moving away because it is so webbed down.
Okay.
Like, because it uses its body to attack. Like, I'll let it do the attack that it did on Anise just because you were close enough to bite it. But swordy stabbing from a side where it's not webbed down would make sense.
Just gonna.
Like, that's not an effect that web normally has, but this is a snake. It's not like it has limbs that can reach out and get you.
Speed 25. Gross. Okay. Yeah. So she's gonna attempt to like move away.
Okay, you climb up a bunch of bodies.
Gross.
Very gross.
Like, is she able to get up to the top of the hill of bodies? And
Not
get up
quite, because you're essentially like climbing a cliff face that happens to be faces. So it's gonna take double movement for each square. So
yeah, she didn't go very far at all. She'll
like you've got what 35 movement right now because you've still got a spell on you.
Do I?
I think I cast something on you.
You use Long Strider.
Yeah, Long Strider.
Yeah.
Was that a concentration spell?
That's an excellent question. I don't see it in my list of spells, which is weird.
It's because you have the ability to just use it.
Oh, okay. Long Strider. Doesn't look like it's concentration.
I didn't think it was. I think it just lasts a long time. Yeah, that's fine. Then it's still up.
Okay. Then she probably just ends up like right there if I'm doing the math right. I don't know.
Let's see. So you started out behind Penelope. Or
started
you are
right
Penelope. You started behind Anise. So you moved up 5, did an attack, moved back 5, so you're at 10. Each square is going to take you 10 more. So yeah, you can make it up to about here.
Oh, what? Ah, there?
Yeah, that's fine. You were
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Then, yeah, that's it. Boom.
Okay. It is now over to Kwaku, who is looking over his options. Do. He is wishing that he had more spells. This is not what he's built for either. Ranged spell attack it is. Let's go. Alrighty, hits. So Kwaku, going with his theme, makes a knife out of ice and throws it. And hits a snake with it. He is apparently budget Shiro. Not that that was the plan. He deserves better than that. Oh, no, that feels more Shiro. How did you get a failure on a damage die? Oh, he's still targeting himself because he's stupid. That's why. That makes way more sense. Yeah, you were going to target a bone naga and not yourself. And attack and a damage. Much, much better. Yeah, it's actually hurting the snake pretty badly. It's taken some damage. Cool. Tick through those spell slots, Kwaku. You're not using them for anything else for a while. Nice. Caw. Good job, bird.
Yeah.
Anise's turn.
Anise's turn.
Because you've spent a turn staring at it since you were a wolf, you can get another perception roll with your human eyes. Or your half-human eyes.
What do your specialized thing?
You
Not a
can
whole
see
lot.
with your half-elf eyes that, yes, there's in fact something stuck in the back of this thing's mouth.
I mean, all I can really do is attack it. So I'm gonna attack it with the reasoner. Yeah, that's what it's called.
The halberd.
Yeah, the halberd. Oh, it
Thwack.
hits.
Melee mages go.
Oh wow!
Bam! Look at that.
Ooh.
You violent. Okay, yeah, that hurts. It did not appreciate that. Thwack. So with that, you spin the halberd around. It's not quite the same as your staff, but it definitely hits a bit harder. And in doing so, you manage to crack one of the I guess the lower jaw near you enough that it's dislocated.
Ooh.
So like it's leering down a little bit more, and now you don't need a perception roll to see easier into its mouth. There is in fact some kind of stone jutting into the back of it, like it tried to bite something and got stuck in the back of its mouth.
I believe that's all I can do because I don't want to give it an attack of opportunity.
That's fair.
Get it, Raps.
Raps has a plan. Raps has a simple plan. All right. And maybe this time. There we go. Crunch.
That is stunning.
I loosened him up for you, big guy.
You did. So Raps, being the simple fellow that Raps is, Raps reaches out over the spider web and over all of this and just does a slam down haymaker into the middle of this snake thing's body, sort of shoving it into those magical daggers that are floating around it. And in doing so, like the whole weird pile of corpses stumbles out from under it, and it just sort of goes rolling down. Unfortunately for it, all of the web and the blades and everything goes with it and just rolls down into a little ball. It continues to get stabbed for a moment, and then Raps just continues over like, no, you don't get away. None of that. And continues to beat on it because Raps doesn't really stop until told to stop. Golems are fun like that. He doesn't need to roll attacks anymore, though, because it's dead. So, you did it. Extra smashing for funsies. Super damaged. Yeah, so the big snake thing falls apart. Upon seeing this, Kwaku is going to get rid of the blades so that you can actually approach it, and the web, which he can do apparently. And I would put a skeleton out for this dead thing, but it already is one. So, have at. You have defeated a giant bone naga thing.
Yay! I'm definitely going for whatever was stuck in the back of its throat.
Just gonna reach up in there?
I'm gonna like make sure it's safe first, I guess, or
it's not moving anymore, and
try it open with the halberd.
When Raps railed into it that second time, it actually broke the bottom jawbone off, so it's not capable of biting even if it were reanimated again. But yeah, there's a stone jabbed in the back of it. It's a long, pointy one.
I will attempt to pull it out.
Strength check. Or athletics. We will determine if you are the rightful Queen of England.
I'll roll strength.
Okay, you're definitely got some good traction on it. You've cleared at least 6 inches of pulling the thing out. It is oddly enough, the thing that you're pulling on, the stone, feels like it was meant to be gripped. It's about the right size for your hands, almost like a weapon.
I guess I'll keep pulling.
Go for it.
Oh, it was almost a 20.
Almost. But it was enough. So yeah, you pull it out. It is in fact a stone. It is a long, sharp stone. It's pointy at the other end, the part that was wedged into the creature's back of its mouth. And when you pull it out, you can feel a little bit of weight to it. Like, not just stone weight, but like its significance. If everything else in the area feels light and empty, this feels a bit more real.
I think I have identified. I will take it over to Kwaku. I found this in the snake. It seems important. Hup.
Oh, that is definitely a rock. It kind of looks like the statues.
Does.
You think maybe it's a broken piece?
Maybe. Is it magical? I guess I can roll Arcana to see.
Yeah, you could do that. That was the weirdest eye animation.
Yeah.
I don't know what was up with that. But yes, this thing is absolutely magical. There's been a lot of mana flowing through it, and you get the feeling from it that it's been in use for a very long time. Like, this is old.
And it does definitely seem to be the same stone the statues are made of.
Yep. In fact, holding it, now that you're thinking about it, feels like when you touch the other 2 statues.
And is it doing anything?
It doesn't seem to be doing anything right now, but it is resonating. Like are
there any runes on it?
Not on this one.
Okay. Should we check the rest of the bone hydra? See if there are any more of them in it? Does it have a skeleton? Does it have a stomach? I guess I'll check through the rest of the bone hydra.
Okay, so looking at the rest of it, the parts that you couldn't see as easily before since you were obviously distracted, there are bits of, like, it is ultimately a skeleton, but unlike the picture here, it's not like a picked clean sun bleach skeleton. Like, there are actually bits of there are still some bits of admittedly rotting flesh on it. As you go further down, like, the top part has been picked pretty clean, but like lower on it, there are some meaty parts, and you can actually find some things in the meaty parts. For starters, you can tell, just as someone who was recently a wolf, that wolves have definitely bit into this thing. Like, the bite marks look familiar. So that's kind of neat. There are also a few wooden shafts sticking in it in places. And when you pull them out, you find arrowheads on them. Like, this thing has been shot with arrows too. So someone else has apparently taken issue with this thing's existence as well.
Well, that's interesting. Well, we killed it.
I don't want to be standing in this pile of bodies anymore. Climb up a little more. Get on the body pile.
Okay, so you've actually made it up far enough that I can give you the rest of this map then. You now have the high ground. You are, in fact, the halfling on the top of the world. It finally happened.
Well, alright, I guess. Have fun on your adventures.
We never determined what the statue here does. Oh. How how high is the body? Is the pile of bodies?
Oh, it goes up the cliffside about 15 or so feet.
Okay.
You could absolutely climb up it. It's kind of weird that the statue is just sort of jutting out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna also
Oh,
climb
there's
up
more there.
here.
So what did you find in the back of the snake's throat?
It was. I think it's the missing piece of this statue. I'm gonna like sort of mountain goat my way down the bodies over to the statue.
It's weird how used to touching those things you get.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Like they just sort of become part of the scenery at this point.
I'm definitely just ignoring it. Does the piece of statue I have look like the piece of statue that was broken off? I think you said there was like a piece missing.
Yeah, it looks like this is probably the rest of the piece that it was holding, sticking up. Given how pointy it is, you can sort of see if you were to hold it up to the place where it was broken off from, it kind of looks like the guy was holding a spear.
I'm gonna reach out and touch the statue, and I assume nothing happens.
Nothing yet.
Gonna put the piece where I'm gonna. If I put the piece on where it was broken off, do I get the sense that it'll just fall right off?
So the way that it was broken off right at where the right arm was holding it, with the left under it, if you were to slide it into place, it would probably just slot back in. Like it stuck down a little bit first.
I will.
Like it wouldn't be as good as if it were properly cast in there, but gravity's not going to knock it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So yeah, when you put that into place, now you're touching it and you can feel something. And what you can feel is
all the bodies start moving at once.
I won't do that to you.
Ugh.
That would be weird though. No, what you're gonna get is
Just a dance party.
a dance party.
A mosh pit.
The worst kind of mosh pit.
I mean, there are probably worse mosh pits, but I don't want to think about them.
Cool.
Where the rest of my tokens at? All right, I'm just going to get this off my other sheet because it doesn't want to pop out right now. Here we go.
Oh, good.
Ah.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Oh, Jesus. Ah. Oh, dear. Ah.
And you get the idea. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, as soon as you pop that back into place, looking up and around you, you can, similar to the other ones, you can see sort of a dome-like effect over the area. Only in this case, the dome, it's not like a solid light or a shimmer like the other ones. It's more flowing, almost like looking at a school of fish or something. And in fact, it is a bunch of spirits. And when you do that, a bunch of them float back down towards you, and they just sort of start hovering around the area, and they are all smiling at you. Similar to they all look like the one that you met back in the cabin, or back in the saloon. And they seem to be back here, and they seem thankful. You can actually see off in the distance, like beyond this dome that you're in now, you can see through it. You can see spirits from the whole area, like the whole valley, are starting to come back over and through. And now they're back here, they're back around. In doing so, they you get the impression that maybe they're a little bit more at peace now. Maybe they don't need to wander around anymore, and that they're back here for whatever sense of purpose they feel they have. In fact, one of them floats up directly next to you, and it says to you, "A broken cup."
He's back.
Are you the same one from the inn? In German.
Oh yeah, that's true. This is in German. It's nice to see you again.
You are the same one from the inn. It's nice to see you again, too.
I'm glad you came.
Can you tell me what exactly you and all your friends are doing here?
We are doing our last job. We keep it safe.
Well, good luck to you. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on doing your thing.
Keep on doing your thing.
One more favor, please.
I'm listening.
Help our sister.
Where is your sister? Is she in the castle?
No, it's not safe there. She is this way.
You will lead me. Oh.
Yep, she is leading you to the north.
Can Penelope see all of this, or?
Actually, weirdly enough, yeah, you can. Like, unlike the ones before, like, so when, just to show, because Anise is gonna let go and you'll be able to tell, when you're touching the statue, you can see them from the whole area. You can see them far away. Right. You can sort of see the dome effect of it. The ones that are right here, you can both just see now. Like, they're just visible.
Okay.
Our friend Cup has returned.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
She's going to lead us to her sister, so we're following her.
Okay.
Oh, Kwaku just teleported up.
You.
Oh, and the bird. Hello, bird friend.
Everyone's moving on up. I guess we're following a ghost now. I mean, why not? We followed a bird.
I can't say this is the weirdest thing I've seen.
Seems like it. Also, to no one's shock, the castle is not safe.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I had suspected.
As she like walks by the ghost, she's like, "Pardon me, excuse me."
They're protecting this place.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, as you're walking by, that ghost that was immediately left to you, like this one, sort of floats along to your right.
Oh, God.
And is sort of holding up its arms and flailing away at the tree as if to shoo it away.
Huh.
Like at the tree?
At the tree. It's just sort of running interference between you and the tree.
Oh no. You don't want to touch the tree.
But yeah, so the ghost is gonna keep floating you this way in the north direction. Everybody's gonna keep moving. Oop. The other ghost is gonna stay back here now. It's protected you from that tree. You're safe now.
Yay.
The bird seems confused as to why we're not going directly to the castle anymore.
Would I have lost speak with animals by now?
Yeah, by this point you probably did. Like, it's not like leaving you, it's just seems confused. Like, it's trying to convince you that maybe this is the right way. Like, hey, you, pay attention, I'm giving you directions.
I'll recast. I'll recast speak with animals. So let me do that. And I will basically tell it that we're following this ghost now. Or him, sorry, I did ask for the gender. No. I'll tell him that we're following this ghost for now. If you want to return to your home back in the forest, you can. If you want to continue following us, I will continue giving you seeds.
We'll follow. Is good.
I love how you just straight up bribed a bird.
That is how you communicate with animals.
Yeah. How do I mark that?
Oh wow, Raps is still targeting that thing.
Jesus,
It's
okay,
like it's
honestly.
well, the thing is on my screen, it's drawing this incredibly long attack line between Raps and that skeleton. Just gonna clear that thing out.
Edge of the world.
It's okay, Raps. The war is done. You are actually immune to almost all of its attacks. It's really funny like that.
He's just very angered by the concept of the bone snake.
Like, this is not a thing that is meant to be. Raps is offended. Okay. And onward. The bird is now following it too, now that the bird knows what we're doing. Hurrah.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to be near the trees.
Okay.
Kind of awkwardly shuffling back and forth here. Do.
The shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Yeah. And let's see.
While we're traveling, I guess I'll ask bird friend, have the trees always been aggressive here?
Nope, normal trees. These are mean.
As I suspected.
Red is bad. Okay. Where are you, pictures? It's like I've opened too many screens, and it's finally catching up to me.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
How could you do this? So bold.
I'm using the bird voice apparently. Caw.
Okay, so the path that you're going in now actually leads up a bit of a way. Like you've surpassed what amounts to a gorge. It's a few more layers like that, but all with more relevant paths. Like they're much more walkable than the one that you had to take the corpse bridge for, so to speak. Like they all have actual walking paths, like whereas that one didn't look like it was meant to be traversed up. It's just there's enough bodies, there's a way. Weird thought. And so given all of that, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this correctly or not, but I'm going to finally give you another map. And this will be the last map of the evening.
20 more maps.
And I will drag you over to it.
Shall
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Oh, there we go. It finished loading. I'm like, what is that? Looked like a Doom hellscape.
Yeah, all I saw was just like red.
Yeah, I did too. It was like while it was loading the layers, it just made it red, and that's way more traumatizing.
But congratulations, we have entered hell.
Welcome to hell.
Ah, thanks.
All right, let's just drop you guys in here. Spooky ghost.
Woo.
Mer. All right. Take that back. Do. All right, so can everybody see the map now?
Yep, except for the black void in the middle.
I mean, it's the inside of a building. Because there's a building!
It's a cabin void.
It's the cabin
No,
void. You've got to watch out for those.
Yeah.
They are misleading, and you can lose a lot of time there. So yeah, what we have up here is just to give some context. Over to the right, where you see a bunch of stone, or I guess the top from your, it's the right from your character's point of view. It's the top from the screen.
Yeah.
That is a cliff face. This is in fact overlooking the gorge that you were all just in. This is actually much higher up. This is probably the highest point within the overall valley. Like, you can see really far in a lot of directions from up here. You can much more easily see the castle even, and that tree is way more obvious now, jutting out the middle of it.
Good.
Yeah. You also see, like, yeah, there's a cabin in front of you. It's very rustic looking. It's wooden. You can't really see inside it because, it's a solid object, as they tend to be. But it does have this little porch in the to the right side from where you're sitting now. And both of you can roll perception, and I'll tell you what you see on it.
Perception, what do you think?
Not much.
It's all good. Okay.
13.
So I'll start with Penelope this time because you rolled the higher number. So Penelope sees something on top of the little shelter with the snow on it. Let's reveal that because it's not exactly hidden, but it's not as immediately obvious. Oh, that thing. There's a little statue of a guy with a bow on it, just pointing it out over the gorge. So that's neat.
Yeah.
And then both of you can see that there's actually someone sitting on a rocking chair under that little shelter,
Oh, good.
looking out at you. And she looks like this.
Ah! Old lady.
It's true. And she's sort of looking out at you, like she doesn't seem to really be bothered by the snow or the cold or anything. But as she sees the lot of you coming up, she's like, "Oh, good. Glad to see you here. You've had a bit of a journey. I appreciate it. Visiting. I don't get many visitors. Not lately. I don't suppose one of you is carrying something to save my life."
What is the name of my patron? I know you've told me.
The name of the one who was placing the orders to you?
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, you don't really know that. You know, the person that you actually normally do business with, the one who presumably set up this whole thing from the backstory, is one of the Edelfelts.
Mm-hmm.
And they know the Einzberns. It's pretty widely known that they know the Einzberns, so you've always assumed that was how you were connected with this person.
Okay. If the thing that you need to save your life is a potion, then yes, I have that.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. I would really prefer not to die. Please come inside. You look like you've had a walk, and I could see from up here that you definitely have.
Gonna slowly oh, nope, apparently I'm not. Hold on.
Oh, new map.
I can move me.
There we go. Oh, nope. Hold on.
Weird, I can move me, but...
What is happening? Oh no. Okay, I know what I did. I turned on the pathing. Okay, so you know what's going to be really funny? Wait for it. You ready? So that's a mode that you turn on when people are wandering through a dungeon and want to plot out how far they can get on their walk distance. And then we get to see how many traps they step on. They can also be vetoed. All right, I'm going to set it to normal now. Now you should be able to just walk like normal. No. How's about now?
There we go.
Yeah. There's a bunch of settings in here. Well, that was fun.
Oh, Shelly.
Okay. So, let's give her a token so that you can communicate properly. Boom. There you go.
Just dumped her out in the snow, did you?
Well, that's where I was dropping her on the map to not overlap with everybody, but yeah, she's technically more over here. Come on in.
She has the same frame as you.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's funny how that works, isn't it? She's going to open the door for you.
The porch doesn't lead into... Okay.
No, that's just an area for overlooking the gorge.
Ah.
That's her gorge porch. It sounds disgusting when I say that out loud.
You did make it weird. All right. Oh, all these NPCs over here might want to come over too. Well, the bird's staying outside. It's going to go chill next to a statue and probably poop on it when no one's looking. The ghost is like going to float up here too because it does that. Neat. All right, so she's going to go in there. She exists within the void.
Sorry, I'm pissing off the cat, apparently.
It's important to have goals.
She gave me a distinct face.
That is your right as a cat owner, as long as you accept the consequences of such transgressions.
Shelly, I'm sorry. She's basically doing
The stink face. Oh no.
but she's purring. You're very weird.
I guess we're gonna follow old lady.
Hey, it's up to you if you want to follow some old lady into a cabin.
I didn't roll insight because I'm like, you know, at this point, the ghost led us to her. I trust the ghost.
Ghosts are legit. This ghost has had a big adventure from the beginning of last week's session when you thought she was here to kill you.
Mm-hmm. I've had a day.
It's
fine.
true.
This little lady probably can't do anything to us. We have a golem.
You've known Penelope for like 24 hours.
Yep.
You were super trusting today.
Normally, you wouldn't let people ride on your back after 24 hours.
That's true.
Look at us making assumptions about Anise and her hobbies based on one adventure.
You know, that's true. Anise could be into that.
She's like, I am a champion warhorse.
What's up, Shelly?
Yeah, so are we gonna follow her into the...
I mean, yeah,
into the
I'm
hole?
waiting
Oh.
since I can't go inside.
Okay, I was waiting for one of you to actually approach the door so I could reveal it.
Oh, yeah, no, I was like, yeah.
There we go.
Boom, I'm in your house! I don't say that when I walk in. I just...
There you go. Although, it's pretty red in her house too, unfortunately. It seems to be the condition of the mountain.
Mm.
If Penelope walks in, she's gonna be like, oh, this place is cute. I like the decor. I don't like that spider web, but I like the decor.
What's wrong with the spider web?
Nobody asked you, Kwaku.
Fair? Fair.
Oh,
it's a bit crowded in here. Raps, could you watch the door? Mer.
There's like 5? I only spotted the one.
I mean, that's Penelope exaggeration
Oh.
going there.
Yeah, there are 3, if you're looking.
It's more like I noticed the one, and then I gradually started noticing the others, and I'm like, ah!
Yep, so when you walk in, there's a fireplace to the right with some firewood. Got some barrels. You got a big metal chest, as you do. And then, yep, you can go up a little bit into the main room.
can peek out the windows.
You can see outside the windows.
Yeah.
There's a mountain with some snow.
Love it. Nice view. Mostly.
Yeah, actually, I'll just describe the room a little bit to you since you're inside now. So, there's a few things to notice here. It's a very, I guess rustic's probably one of the better words for it. The furniture is pretty much entirely wooden, and it looks like it was all handcrafted wooden, not like mass purchased wooden, like someone made it. The desk in front of Anise has some rope and a quiver and a bow sitting on it with a bunch of arrows. There's a bed next to that. It's like a single bed. There's a table in the middle with some books on it and a single chair. There's a wardrobe to the south end of the room. It's closed, but presumably is clothing in it. There's a few other cabinets and things. Pretty much a lot of things here are designed for storage more so than display. And then there's the wall just to the right from where you walked in. There's a bookcase with a bunch of books on it, which is neat. But then the weird thing that stands out is there's a dresser, and it has an actual TV sitting on it. But like, it's not a TV like most of you are used to seeing. This TV is flat. I think that Penelope would be more familiar with these. This is what they call a plasma screen. These are brand new technology, and they're very expensive, and you generally only see them when people have a lot of money to burn, or it's like a sports bar. This one is sitting here on top of the counter, or on top of the dresser, but it's not plugged in. It's just sitting there. In fact, there's no outlet to plug it into. It's just sitting there on the thing, and there's a bunch of DVDs next to it with a DVD player that is also not plugged in. And all the DVDs are cowboy movies.
Gunter.
Oh, I don't mind those. They're gifts from a friend.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
I tried to explain to him that I can't use it, but it made him happy, so I just took them. You don't really need to watch them to understand what they're about. As far as I can tell, it's about a bunch of men with hats who like horses.
Sounds about right.
So, I feel rude being in your house without knowing who the heck you are. Hello. Who are you?
Oh, my apologies. This is rather rude of me. Yes, my name is Acovial Einzbern.
Write this shit down.
You startled Shelly, apparently.
Good. Take that, Shelly.
Jovial.
Okay. It's nice to meet you. Do you just prefer Acovial, or do you have a nickname, or...
Acovial is fine. The nice man Gunther calls me Echo, and that works too.
Well, I'm Penelope.
Hello, Penelope.
My name is Anise.
And hello, Anise. I believe we've written before.
Yes, I believe so. I'll just kind of walk over to the table, take off my backpack, and start digging for the potion.
The potion has survived all of the journey.
I mean, I'm going to assume I, wrapped it really well, put it in something to keep it from...
Yeah, as someone who makes potions, you understand the value of properly storing them for safety. And at no point in this entire adventure have you taken, a giant fall or anything that would have possibly damaged it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when
Can
you
I
were
do-
bitten by a giant snake, you were in wolf form, so it was fine.
Can I do a just general insight check to see if I distrust this person at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Die animation is weird.
Yeah.
She seems to be completely legit with you. She also doesn't seem to be nervous at all. She's welcomed you into her home. She's being very cordial. There's some little things that you can pick up about her. Like, she seems like she's legitimately trying to be friendly, but also doesn't really know how to be friendly. Like, it doesn't take a lot of leaps from looking around her room to see that she has a very solitary life. And that she means well, but she might not understand the nuances of this conversation. So, but yeah, you don't get any impression that she's like looking for opportunities to shiv you or anything.
Oh, good.
As I'm getting the potion out, I'll just ask, the ghost that led us here called you her sister. Are you one of the homunculi then? Or, sorry if that's rude to ask, I just have so many questions.
No, I am what I am. I suppose at this point I might be the last homunculus. It's dreadful business down in the castle. But yes, we are, in a way, we're all sisters. We come from the same stock. I'm just a bit more special in that I can get older. Lucky me. Wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, weird question. Is she speaking in English or German?
She's speaking in English.
Okay.
I would tell you if you didn't understand her.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
she definitely knows English because that's how she's been writing to Anise. So
That's, you know what? That's a fair point. That's a very fair
Could have
point.
been in German. You don't know. You didn't know.
that's
all
fair.
good.
Like, it could have been in German. But nope, it's been in English so far. Like, the ghosts are all speaking German, but she seems to be at least a little bit more worldly. And you can tell from all of those books in front of you that a lot of them are in English.
Just gonna start scanning the titles of the books, seeing if there's anything interesting or fun.
Yeah, so like looking over the titles of the books, there are a few of them that seem to be educational in nature, like a bunch of encyclopedias, oddly enough, like old school encyclopedias, print and paper. Welcome to the world where Wikipedia is still new and she obviously doesn't have it. So there's some encyclopedias in there. There are definitely some more like fiction books, like some of them are cowboy themed. There's one coloring book which feels a little bit out of place, but maybe not. A lot of stuff that you sort of get the impression are gifts from Gunter. Beyond that, there actually are some books up there that you can tell from looking at them and the language on the spines that they're maybe more old, like things that you would not find published in the modern world. Like, these are just older things. They kind of remind you of the spell books and grimoires that other mages keep, that maybe are how they learn their magic or how they prepare it. Just from where Anise is standing, also, like, she can just see from looking around the room that this place reminds her a bit of the dwellings that some of the people that she learned magic from lived in. Very minimalist, very much like handmade things. Like, there's a few modern things, like other than the TV and the books. Like, this carpet is relatively modern. Like, it was definitely handmade, but it's the kind of thing that you would maybe find more if you went to a sort of like more yuppie import kind of store. Like, it was probably handmade, but it wasn't necessarily made here. But like, it's a nice and simple place. You both also noticed, as mentioned, that there's no outlets, there's no electricity. like the room itself is largely heated by the fireplace. So it's a pretty simple life.
I assume by now I've gotten the potion out, and
Yeah.
I guess I will go hand it over.
Oh.
Potion made her vanish.
Haha. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think you can possibly understand how much I appreciate this. She does not waste time. She pops the seal on it, and then she tosses it back. And like, you've both seen people drink potions before. Like, Anise has certainly seen her fair share of them, but in the case of this one, like, you've never actually seen someone drink this potion that you've always felt would probably just kill someone. But when she drinks it, she actually, you don't see a visible change in her skin doesn't change, her eyes don't change, none of that. But little things that you didn't really realize before are now more clear in their absence. Like, she was slightly twitchy before. She was walking a little bit closer to what you would expect out of someone her apparent age, and after she drinks it, she seems to be like perfectly still and calm and collected. She's breathing somewhat more regularly now. It wasn't bad before, but it's very clear now that whatever's going on, she seems to be immediately feeling better. Oh, good. Yes. Well, I'm not sure that Gunter is going to be interested in seeing me anytime soon, but, you know, beats dying.
Do you need to take this potion more than once a year, or will that tide you over?
Usually, once a year is fine. It's something that we sort of learned earlier on. Like, you improved greatly on the original formula. For the original one that we reached out to you for, I had to take that one somewhat frequently, and essentially, just to be blunt, I'm not that old. I look it, but in terms of years, I'd say I'm maybe 20?
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Maybe? It's about right. About 20? Yes, I was born in the 1980s. So, it is 2005, yes? I don't get a lot of news out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in my 20s, but what we learned was that after a certain point without it, I age significantly quickly. And with your potion, the way you make it, I can go a year without aging a day. But it catches up when I miss it. In fact, I tried to reach out to you several times before, but I get the impression that none of my orders got through to you. Like, they were being intercepted or lost somehow. Like, the third time, I couldn't even finish writing the letter myself. I had to get Gunter to help me, which he did. He seems to think I'm sick and doesn't realize that this is just who I'm going to be now. He's a nice boy.
Yes, I didn't get the first orders, and honestly, the status of your handwriting is what made me concerned enough to come here in person. I could tell there was something wrong.
Yes, I'm afraid I got a bit shaky there. In fact, she's actually looking at her now very still hands and, like, flexing her digits one at a time and almost surprised at how effective they're working. I don't recommend aging 20 years in a week if you can avoid it.
Oh, that does sound dreadful.
It's a bit much.
I will endeavor to have another potion ready this time next year, then.
Oh, I definitely would appreciate that. And in fact, I I have some concerns that with the premature demise of my sisters, I may not need it depending on what happens next. I've got to do something about this castle problem.
Yes, I was wondering what you could tell us about the whole situation here. It's very concerning.
Yes, it's a bit of a tale. You might want to sit down. I would offer you use of the facilities, but I don't have a bathroom. But
Just like run out into the snow.
one of the perks of being a homunculus is that you don't actually have to do things like that. Like, looking over, Kwaku was just sort of staring at this and like, what? Random knowledge. It's like, the more you know, indeed. But yes, get settled, get warm, and I'll catch you up on what has happened so far.
I will sit down on the rug, I guess.
Story time. Everybody on the story time rug.
The story time rug. Kwaku's like, I like stories. Those are good. I appreciate those. And I think that's where we're going to pause now so that we can pick up with exposition next time.
Yay.
This is a good stopping point. You're not fighting giant snakes or anything.
And we're on the story time rug.
And you're on the story time rug. And you've got a ghost and a bird.
We're just collecting pets.
In its own weird way, you're kind of reenacting Japanese mythology. Not that was intentional, but I guess one of you gets to be Momotaro at this rate.
You have the red hair.
I mean, technically, Anise would be the dog at this point because you just turned into one.
That's true. And I can turn into, I think, what kind of dog was it? There's a dog in my action. A Rottweiler? Or, no.
You've got a lot of animals on there.
Mastiff. There we go.
That makes sense. You are a hound.
Fluffy.
Yeah, you could pretty much turn into a riding dog if you ever need to get Penelope somewhere fast.
Ride me.
Hey, we just met 24 hours ago.
But yeah, so like when we get back next time, you'll actually find out what's going on because someone who can tell you that is here. And that'll maybe give you some ideas of what all of these things have been leading up to, but also you'll get an opportunity to like rest up and figure out what you want to do next because this is a safe place with no trees trying to kill you or anything.
No giant snakes.
It's
or
true.
big men.
No big angry man here.
And I guess this is going to count as a short rest?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you get back on a short rest?
I don't know. I just got excited about the concept of a short rest.
It's your inner warlock coming out.
Like, yeah.
You're like, oh, those hidden levels of warlock and fighter really appreciate the short rest.
It's nap time.
What do you get back on a short rest?
So on a short rest, you can spend your hit dice to get some of your HP back to heal up. If you have abilities that recharge on a short rest, you'll get those back. I don't remember how short, like your wild shapes are on long, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Most of the cool short rest abilities are usually like a level 4 or 6 or something.
Oh, it's daily. It's not on a rest. I just get 2 daily.
Yeah, that in practice that means long rest because you can't really take 2 long rests in a day.
That's fair.
Usually. I'm fudging some of that because I don't think that modern setting timelines really get as much downtime as, and then you ride on a horse for 3 days.
Yeah.
So we're articulating it more like a short rest is time when you can sit safely for a while, and a long rest is when you're comfortable enough that you could sleep for a while. And we're just sort of abstracting it out from there. Like if we reach a point where you're like 10 minutes into the day, well, time to go to sleep for 8 hours, then we'll revisit this, but I don't really see that happening. Like long rests are also things that if exploited just get interrupted more. So there's that. But yeah, so we'll pick up on this next week with story time, a little bit of exposition, and finally moving on to the next step and maybe finding out what the statue on this building does.
Maybe.
Because in the meta, we're running out of statues.
So we've run into like what?
There was the first two.
There's the first two. There was another one after.
Yeah, that was the one that was holding back the red corruption thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
There was the
fourth
one in the pile of
bone.
bodies.
Yeah. And then now there's this fifth one.
This is your fifth one.
Yay. What?
I wonder how many of them there will be.
Although I think it's funny that the statue that was the Lancer statue was the one that was broken.
Yeah.
I wonder how that could be.
Hmm.
I wonder which statue we place in a pile of bodies.
Oh, Lancer.
Lancer Gashinda.
I like how I put a blanket over Shelly, and she put up with it for a solid 2 minutes, and then suddenly decided that she wanted none of it.
That is the cat life. All right,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to say thank you to the internet people, whoever is watching this in the future. And I saw one or two people poke in at random points that weren't bots. So maybe if they wander back later out of boredom, then they can catch up too. So thanks, everybody. We'll be back in a week.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.